Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vitality Wednesday. I'm your host, Dr. Kalpana Sundar. With me is Robin Fields, and every other week we like to talk about vitality. And today's topic, I think, is going to be a really interesting one for people because I would say maybe not all people, but definitely women. Because what happens is there's a point, I believe, when women achieve the age of 40, and all of a sudden, whatever we were doing at 28 just kind of doesn't work anymore. And then we start to wonder if we've lost discipline and what the heck is going on? Why isn't it working like it used to? Why am I gaining weight? What the heck is happening? We've all been there, done that, right?
Yes, absolutely. And
Amazing.
I was kind of lucky. It didn't hit me until like 55.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
But
I mean, that's good. Yeah, a
but
lot
then
of
at
people have
55,
life.
something drastically changed.
Okay, well, and I think the reality is it will change for most people at some
Yeah.
point. And then there are a couple of reasons for that, and well-known documented reasons why it actually happens, so we don't have to be guessing. Because a lot of times women just think that, oh my God, I'm eating too much. This is the most common thing hear women say. Oh my God, I'm eating too much. And then I go, well, what exactly are you eating? And shockingly, it's actually not enough. So when we get older, we actually, because we've been told from society standpoints that, you got to eat less, got to eat less, got to eat less. But what happens is when we eat less, we are not able to put on any kind of muscle or even maintain the muscle that we have. So then what happens is we lose muscle, we gain fat.
Mm.
Well, fat takes up a lot of space. So you could see a similar woman weighing a lot more who looks a lot trimmer than the same woman with more body fat looks a lot larger. So, when we talk about antiquated measurement, the weight is the stupidest measurement, I think. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
great baseline, but I don't ever look at weight. I look at body fat and muscle mass. So whenever I'm worried that I might have gained weight, I go check whether it was muscle or was it fat. Is always been muscle. So then I'm like, well, whatever, who cares? I don't care if I weigh more if I've gained muscle, but I do care if I gain more fat. So
Mhm.
that's really just a very outdated tool. And, I really want to call that out because, back when I grew up, in the, 70s and 80s, it was all about eating less, eating less, eating less. And, all the mottos were eating nothing. It was a whole thing back then. But many of us have grown up and we continue to have those beliefs that that's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to eat. So that's one huge thing. And then there's hormones. I mean, hormones are a big cause of that change because the hormones will create shifts, it will make it harder for us to gain muscle. It will disrupt our system. So, a lot of times, that hormone disruption can be a huge cause of the whole problem.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of times it's overlooked. I mean, most women, their answer is just, let's just stop eating.
Yeah. So I have a question with the first one.
Sure.
So, like the average person, if they want to measure their body weight,
Hmm.
right? Or their, what else did you say? Their muscle mass.
Muscle mass, yeah.
So where do we go?
Oh, that's a great question. So a lot of places you can find a lot of places will have something called an in-body scan. It's a
Mhm.
very common machine and a lot of people, a lot of gyms have it. So if you're not a member of a gym that has this machine, you can probably find it. They might charge you a little bit just to use it. It's very well worthwhile to know. A lot of doctors' offices have it. Now, a lot of people have this. So you could just search online for someplace near you, but a lot of places actually have it. If
Okay.
you don't have it, I know Orange Theory has it. So Orange Theory is a gym that's everywhere. And I don't know if they'll let you use it if you're not a member, but they may. They may charge you $20, $30. I mean, who cares? It's
Uh-huh.
worthwhile to really know that information, but that's a great question.
I do have another question, Dr. Sundar.
Yes.
Those scales that you can buy
Mhm.
that tell you your body weight and all, do
I
you?
used to I used to use those. They're terribly inaccurate from what I've
Okay.
seen. So I don't like them, but it'll give you an idea. It's not the worst. It's better than just looking at your weight and
Mhm.
not looking at anything else. But it's much better if you could get, maybe to use something like that after you've had a good scan done because they're just
Oh,
more accurate. Those other scans are very much more accurate.
Okay, awesome.
So it's good to just know. And that's really what we should be looking at. When we go on a fitness journey and we want to be a better version of ourselves and be trimmer and look healthier and be healthier, we should be looking at how much body fat we lose, not how much weight we lose.
Yeah, that's so true.
If I didn't work out, I'd probably lose 5 pounds of muscle very quickly and I'd be like, woohoo, I lost five
Yeah,
pounds. But I didn't, those are not the 5 pounds I wanted to lose. I want to lose 5 pounds of fat, not 5 pounds of muscle.
yeah.
So this is a big problem, and a lot of women in our age group don't realize this, and that's why I just felt it was so important to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So between, again, like I said, the biggest issue is really just the muscle mass preservation, and because muscle burns more calories than fat. I could be sitting on my butt and doing nothing and burn more calories doing nothing if my body has more muscle. If my body has more fat, I have to do a lot more. This is why I love muscle, because I don't have to do anything and it still burns calories.
Okay, silly question. So
Mhm.
to have more muscle, we need to do weightlifting.
Yeah, or resistance training. It doesn't
Or-
always have to be weights. You can do something with resistance training. Just depends about how much muscle you want.
Okay.
I like being strong. I mean, like, first of all, because I have to lift heavy things all the time. So I'm just glad I can. I mean, I just moved in my apartment and I just had to lug things back and forth. And I was like, thank God I'm strong or I'd be just stuck. I just, can lift because, I'm like, all right, here we go. Here's a heavyweight squat. And I just like take furniture out of a box because like I like being strong like that.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Everybody doesn't have to have that much muscle. But again, the more muscle you have, the better.
Okay.
I mean,
Great.
not all crazy bodybuilding muscle. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, and everybody's amount of muscle is going to differ from their body size and all of that. Like, for me, I have bigger legs. I just have big legs. So I'm like, well, rather than be large and flabby, I'd rather have legs that look lean and strong. Well,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I got big legs, might as well make them look as good as possible, but
Yeah.
everybody's body shape is different. So, it's just really about that proportion. So, those are the big things that I wanted to point out today. Hormones are a big part of it. It's not always eating, it's probably that you're eating too little and not fueling enough muscle. And then just really the amount of calories you take in affects how much muscle you have. Muscle burns more fat over time. So just people know this, I think, inherently for the most part, but sometimes we need to be reminded.
So with those two thoughts, and then protein, is there a
Yes.
certain amount of protein that you
Oh,
try to consume
yes. There's
every
a
day?
certain amount of protein you should be eating. There's also an app called MyFitnessPal, which is free, and you can actually track your protein and your macros. So you have to do some research in finding out what it is for your height and weight and what you're trying to achieve. But this is a funny story. My sons would always tell me because they're big into exercise. They're like, "You're not eating enough protein," and I would just not listen to them. And then I saw a personal trainer, and I was working out with him for a while, and I was like, "Yeah." So I tell my son, I go, "Yeah, it turns out I'm not eating enough protein," and he's like, okay, I've been telling you that the whole time, and you didn't listen to me, but he tells it to you, and now you're on board with eating more protein.
The roles have reversed.
I know, I know. But anyway, and it's so true because as soon
Yeah.
as I started eating more protein, I was able to build muscle faster, and all of things got a lot easier.
Yeah. That's cool. That's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah,
Trying to
yeah,
eat enough, for my body.
absolutely. And something we should all work on. So, well,
Hmm.
anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us again on Vitality Wednesday. Hopefully, this conversation was great because I love it.
Me
And
too.
we will see you all next time for another Vitality Wednesday. Have a
Thanks.
great
Bye,
day.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day, Robin.